Good morning. The Cuyahoga County Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee has been called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Ms. Turner.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
Mr. Sweeney.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one has signed in.
Okay, well, I have a motion to approve the minutes from the June 11th, 2024 meeting.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
The first item will be taken out of order, item 5F, Resolution 2024-0235, confirming the county executive's appointment of Chief Calvin Williams to serve on the Cuyahoga County Diversion Board for the term March 1st, 2024 through February 28th, 2027.
Good morning, Madam Chair. On behalf of Zoe Toscas, on behalf of the County Executive, pursuant to Section 208.04 of the Cuyahoga County Code, I'm here to recommend the appointment of Chief Calvin Williams to serve on the Cuyahoga County Diversion Board for the term that started March 1st, 2024, and will end February 28th, 2027. Chief Williams will be replacing Bill Mason. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, members of council. I am Chief Williams from the city of Richmond Heights. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning. Just a little bit about me for those who don't know me. I was chief of police for the city of Cleveland for about 8 years from 2014. I retired in 2022. And as a matter of fact, for the diversion board, I was actually on the initial offering of that board in 2021 as the law enforcement representative. So I'm very familiar with the board itself, very familiar with the Diversion Center and what it does, what it seeks to do for the folks here in Cuyahoga County. So I definitely welcome this opportunity to serve again on this board, and I'll take any questions that council has. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start with the first question, if that's okay. Councilman Sweeney.
To be recognized, Madam Chairwoman. I'm happy that you did.
Okay, I just have a quick question, Chief. We want to know, what do you think are some of the obstacles that impact the use of the diversion center? Since it's your second go-around here, maybe you have some insight that you could share with us.
Yes, Councilwoman. I know initially when the board started out with the county, some of the barriers that were kind of looked at back in 21 were actually usage of the diversion center itself by law enforcement. It was educating the men and women of our local law enforcement partners to actually know what the diversion center was for, what the parameters for use were, and that it was a resource that we could definitely utilize in certain circumstances when we dealt with those populations that the diversion center is designed to serve folks, and whether it be mental health issues or substance use issues, and keep them out of that criminal justice system. So it was actually a good tool for us, but we had to really work hard on educating local law enforcement, especially the leadership of local law enforcement, to encourage their officers to actually utilize that service.
Any anecdotes as to why they aren't using it?
Again, I think it's mostly getting the word out that the center is really a tool for not just for law enforcement, but for the community in general. It's a tool that can help alleviate some of the issues that happen with those type of populations in our cities around the county. It's a tool that officers can rely on rather than waiting in line at our county jail to get people booked in that you're going to see again in a month or so. The center itself is designed to help those individuals get out of their circumstances, or at least to start down that road of getting out of the circumstances that bring them in contact with law enforcement. So it's just, I think, a media campaign, which we tried to do in 2021, as well as inviting those law enforcement leaders to the table to really solidify with them what the diversion center is about, so that they put out policies and procedures like we did in Cleveland to actually utilize the services of the diversion center.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Sweeney.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. To my colleagues. Chief, it's nice seeing you.
You too, sir.
Second time around, I think I just want you to come in, not guns blazing, but just get it working, right?
Yes.
You're chief of police of the city of Cleveland. You took significant responsibilities on not just the people of the city of Cleveland, but countywide, or statewide because of the position you had. You have a great job out in Richmond now.
Yes.
And I want you to come to the diversion center. And what you just said there, I want you to be free. The board, it's time to start maximizing this tool that's going to help take care of the people and relieve some of the pressures and the burdens on the unjustness that's happening that everybody talks about.
Exactly.
And this diversion center is one of the ingredients for a successful recipe to move it in that direction. So I have all the faith and confidence in it with you. And if you need help from this end, from me or anybody, because you know how to do it. And I want you, you have to work with your board members, but this is more of a rah-rah speech because I'm very happy that you're going back in and you have the time to do it through the chair. You have the time?
Yes, sir.
You have
Yes,
the
I do.
interest?
Thank you. Oh, definitely.
Do you have the
Yes.
energy?
I think so. I think
I know
have a
all
little
three
bit
are
left,
inside you,
so.
and I'm looking forward to hearing how good you're doing, and we're here to help you. Thank you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chairwoman.
Councilman Miller?
So, Madam Chair, to the chief, can you tell me a little bit about what motivated you after you retired from the city of Cleveland to then take the position at Richmond Heights?
Madam Chair, to the councilman, basically, it was a phone call from Mayor Thomas of the city of Richmond Heights, who was in need of a police chief. At the time, I told her I would definitely assist her in finding a appropriate replacement for Chief Wetzel once he retired. And she basically indicated, no, I want you. And I told her I'd have to think about it, talk to my family, and really give it some thought. And with a lot of conversations between myself and the mayor and talking about the things that she wanted accomplished in Richmond Heights, I felt that now's the time to get back into law enforcement and try to help out a great community out there on the east side of Cuyahoga County.
Thanks very much.
Councilwoman Conwell?
Thank you, Madam Chair. To Chief Williams, does the city of Richmond Heights currently utilize the diversion center?
Through the chair to Councilwoman Conwell, my officers currently don't run into a lot of this. We do utilize the services of Frontline. Rosemary Creedon is a very dear friend of mine who I've called upon on numerous occasions to help with matters of mental health crisis in the city of Richmond Heights. We don't have a formal process. We are working on that process. We are also a part of, and the county is a funder of First Call. That's a program with the cities of Shaker Heights, of course, Richmond Heights, South Euclid, Cleveland Heights, and University Heights. That program just kicked off where it sends a co-responder with the law enforcement officer on calls like we're talking about. And I do believe that that program can be rolled into what the diversion center does. Because once that co-responder, that clinician, that social worker, and that law enforcement officer actually get on scene, they talk to that individual, they see there's a need for services, that referral can be to the diversion center as part of that wraparound services that they're trying to provide in the First Call program. So I think it's an opportunity to expand on what the county's doing as a funder with First Call and expand on what the county is doing with the diversion center itself.
Thank you.
Well, Chief, don't think we have any more questions, but I want to thank you for your service. Thank you for settling on the fact that you still had more to give. We're elated that you're back in law enforcement and that you're back with a diversion board. I won't put you on the spot. Well, yeah, I will. Do you think that in the future we could possibly discuss, given your background, your expertise, and your credibility in this space, convening some of that leadership to have a conversation about how to best utilize this as a tool? You don't have to answer me today, but I want you to think about that.
Well, the answer is yes. I think one of the first things that, or first items on the agenda for the board is to kind of look at convening those police chiefs. throughout the county to look closely at what the Diversion Center has to offer. Yes.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for your service. I'll make the motion to move this item to the full body of council for second reading approval under suspension of the rules. Can I have a second?
Second, and I'll add my name, please.
Can you add mine too, please?
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, please add Councilman Sweeney, Conwell, Turner. Same. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Resolution 2024-0155, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Darius Houston to serve on the Cuyahoga Regional HIV Prevention and Care Planning Council for the term October 28th, 2023 through October 27th, 2026.
Madam Chair, on behalf of the county executive, pursuant to Section 6.04 of the Cuyahoga County Code, I'm here to recommend the reappointment of Darius Houston to the Cuyahoga Regional HIV Health Services Prevention and Care Planning Council to a 3-year term that started October 28th, 2023 and will end October 27th, 2026. Mr. Houston is here to present.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Darius Houston.
What would you like to share with us this morning? What, this is a reappointment. Talk to us about your interests and continued service and any thoughts you might have about some of the most pressing issues facing HIV-positive individuals in this community.
Yes, so far I've been on the Planning Council as the chair of prevention for about the past 4 years. Prevention is one of my big passions because we are all HIV possible. The youth is really a big thing that I focus on, is because I like to do a lot of grassroots type of work, meaning going out in community, reaching young people, talking to young people, having events where we can create safe spaces for them to come to, and we can provide wellness screenings for testing and prevention, STDs, STIs, just all of the above. I would like to continue to have a voice at that table to advocate for young people, people living with HIV, and also people who are at risk for HIV. I work for 2 organizations. I am the Director of Program Innovation for Central Outreach Wellness Center, and I'm also the Program Manager for Gender Care Services for University Hospitals. So I believe at having a lot of seats at different tables in order to help push the agenda of knowing that HIV is here, and we have a lot of young people who have voices that have been silenced who really need help in that area. So I want to be a voice and a leader to provide care for them.
Talk to us a little bit about, because I have to admit it's the first time I've heard the term HIV possible.
Yes, so everyone who is, having sexual intercourse is HIV possible. So we just want to make sure that when we're doing that, that we're using the appropriate things to prevent that. So that comes with using condoms and using PrEP, which is a medication that can prevent you from contracting HIV. So if you are having sex, you are at risk to be HIV possible. And some people think that that only affects the LGBTQ plus community, and that is not true. That affects everyone who is sexually active.
Questions, Councilman Miller?
Just a comment that I read an article over the weekend that Gilead Sciences has successfully tested an HIV vaccine. So that might give us an additional prevention tool. That's kind of exciting.
Further questions? Okay, Mr. Houston, we thank you for your service, and thank you again for your willingness to serve. I'll make the motion to move this item to the full body of council for second reading, approval under suspension of the rules. Can I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution 2024-0214, confirming the county executive's appointment of Daniel Smith to serve on the Division of Children and Family Services Advisory Board for the term March 1st, 2023 through February 28th, 2027.
Madam Chair, on behalf of the county executive and pursuant to Section 205.10 of the Cuyahoga County Code, I'm recommending the appointment of Daniel Smith to the DCFS Advisory Board for the term that started March 1st, 2023, and will end February 28th, 2027. Daniel Smith will be replacing Marley Santiago on the DCFS Advisory Board, and he's here to present this morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Daniel Smith. I am currently employed with the City of Cleveland as a detective. I've been with the City of Cleveland for 17 years as a Cleveland police detective. I recently was assigned as a task force officer with the U.S. Marshals, and I was presented this opportunity through a mutual friend to join this board. And I really feel like with me being on the ground, I can provide a different experience through just intervention. My experience of seeing multiple cases from horrific levels to normal levels. I think my familiarity with the ORC of endangering children will provide some insight to new policies. And just from my own personal background as being a child growing up in the system for 4 years, I think that also provides a little bit more on-the-ground experience and hopefully to create some new policies and affect some change.
You know, every day we have heroes that show up in our chambers. So thank you. You're doing the job, but you decided you had another level of service that you could give, and we're so appreciative of that. Can you think of any ways that this board can participate in preventive work to attempt to have families avoid going into the system?
I think with more community engagement from the board or just with the organization, with the residents, I think, like I said before, being on the ground and talking to the residents, I think we can create an environment to where the residents or people or the parents can feel a bit more comfortable with their issues, and hopefully they can get some help or rehabilitation or figure out other issues to solve their problems.
Questions from my colleagues? Councilman?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. How are you?
More.
Tell me something good about George Redding. Could you?
About George Redding?
Yeah, your coworker. I'm just
Okay.
messing with you. You seem perfect, humble, you care, and I just wanted to make it light. George is my buddy, and
Okay.
when I heard you talking, you sound like him a little bit,
Okay.
and I figured you might know each other through the course of
I
time.
do know who he is. We did play football a long time ago together.
Absolutely, and that's how I met him way back when.
Okay.
Were you Gibbs or what was the name of your team?
Well, we played on the, it was a police.
Oh, the
public
police
safety.
thing way back
Yes,
when.
sir.
Okay, so you're signing up for 4 years.
Yes, sir.
You excited?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. This is going to be something I'm passionate about. I'm ready to make some changes.
No, that's what I see right now is you're coming in ready to bring your experience and actually have an impact, which is exactly what the individuals we're looking for, and I can't wait to approve you. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
If there are no further questions, we'll let you get back to your superhero duties. We look forward to maybe some community conversations somewhere
Yes, ma'am.
down the line. So thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
I'll make the motion to move this item to the full body of council for second reading approval under suspension of the rules. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
Good morning.
Resolution 2024-0227, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County Non-Bargaining Classification Plan, A through F.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Members of the committee, I'm Albert Bushaheen, the Manager of Classification and Compensation for the Personnel Review Commission. Before you for your consideration are modifications to the county's non-bargaining classification plan. As you may well be aware, the PRC has had numerous meetings with incumbents, supervisors, the HR department, council staff, and the law department to review the civil service status of positions that were provided to us by county council. Although there are still a few positions that are pending a determination, the PRC is recommending to you the creation of 4 new classified positions and the revision of 2 existing classifications. All the modifications before you were presented by the PRC, prepared by the PRC class and comp staff who have worked extensively with the Department of Human Resources and the County Law Department to ensure that they're fully informed of what's being proposed to you. In accordance with PRC rules, the proposed changes were posted online on the PRC's website prior to your consideration. Madam Chair, I'm requesting a second reading suspension as this process has already taken longer than expected and due to council's summer recess. I thank you for your consideration. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Councilwoman Conwell.
Yes, through the chair to Mr. Buchanan, why are these considered new classifications? In particular, Exhibit D, manager, I thought we had those already.
Madam Chair, Councilwoman Conwell, some of the classifications, they're considered new if they're not currently active or part of the county's class plan. The positions you referenced was previously designated as unclassified by the administration. That's why it's new to the class plan.
That's a great answer. And so what about Exhibit B and C? Same thing?
Same thing.
And Exhibit A is from where? Which department?
Madam Chair to Councilwoman Conwell, Exhibit A is the, sorry, that's the next resolution I'm looking at. I apologize.
Probably Treasury, something like that, maybe?
Manager of Cashier, you're absolutely right, Councilwoman. That is the cashier manager down in the Treasurer's departments. Those are the individuals that collect payments for taxes, child support payments, et cetera.
Okay, and one other question. In terms of the pay grades, did any of those change?
Madam Chair, Councilwoman, the simple answer is no, because these are new. So once we created the classifications, we had them evaluated by our consultant for pay grade. So this is the pay grade determination. They didn't have a pay grade before as they were unclassified.
Councilman Miller.
Madam Chair to Mr. Buchanan, are the incumbents in these new classifications currently receiving salaries that are within the range that's been set so that there would be no fiscal impact?
Madam Chair to Councilman Miller, all of the incumbents in the classifications except for one have salaries that fall within the designated range that we're proposing. There is one incumbent in one classification who is actually beyond the maximum of the pay grade. As you know, we at the PRC administer and you approve the pay ranges, the bands for the positions. The HR department will determine what the outcome will be as far as will the pay be reduced, will it stay the same? That's just not our purview. We don't designate where a particular employee's salary falls.
So, Madam Chair to Mr. Buchanan, am I correct that Human Resources could decide to reduce the pay, or else they could also decide to circle it and have it just stay where it is until the pay band catches up with it? Are those likely the two major options?
Madam Chair to Councilman Miller, you're exactly right. Those are basically the two options.
Okay.
That decision, my understanding, that decision is still being discussed, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, seeing as we have no further questions, I'll make the motion to move this item to the full body of council for second reading approval under suspension of the rules. Can I have a second?
Second.
So moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to have my name added, please.
Please add Councilman Miller's name.
I spend a lot of time on the classified, unclassified project.
Of course. Okay.
Resolution 2024-0228, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan A through J.
Madam Chair, Albert Bushaheen again with the PRC. We're recommending creation of 2 new classifications. Both of these classifications were requests from the departments. The IT network engineer classification will be posted and filled in the future. The animal shelter supervisor position is going to replace 3 existing classifications to allow for a more streamlined approach for the animal shelter. There are 7 revised classifications that we are presenting. All of them are routine maintenance with no change in pay grades and therefore will not have a fiscal impact on the incumbents. We're also proposing the deletion of 1 classification at the PRC that is vacant and will not be filled in the future. Once again, I'm asking for a second reading suspension of rules, Madam Chair.
Okay. Councilwoman Conwell.
Through the chair to Mr. Bouchenay. Okay, so the proposed deleted classification, just based on its title, would that kind of, the functions be put up under the PRC?
Madam Chair, Councilwoman Conwell, yes, that we have a higher level classification where the duties that are in this classification we're proposing for deletion have been redesigned and included in that classification.
Further questions? Okay, if not, I will make the motion to move this item to the full body of council for second reading approval under suspension of the rules. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Resolution 2024-0231, confirming the county executive's appointment of Linda Johannick to serve on the Alcohol, Drug Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board of Cuyahoga County for an unexpired term ending June 30th, 2027.
Madam Chair, on behalf of the county executive and pursuant to section 340.02 of the Ohio Revised Code, I'm here to recommend the appointment of Linda Johannick to serve on the Adams Board for an unexpired term that will end June 30th, 2027. And Ms. Johannick will be replacing Michelle Curry's seat on the Adams Board, and she's here to present. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Linda Johannick, and I want to thank the council members this opportunity to speak. I am really interested in joining the Adams Board for two main reasons, and they're professional and personal. Professionally, I've been working in the nonprofit field for more than 25 years, and I've always felt it's more of a calling than a job. And I started out really working with the homeless population and the shelter system and transitional housings. And that kind of went into working with, the bulk of my career has been with victims of trauma, domestic violence victims, sexual assault, child abuse, mental health, substance abuse, crisis intervention. I think when you work in the field of crisis intervention, you touch so many issues. I worked in both like direct service and then administration and leadership. And one of the things that I really become energized by is looking at the big picture. And the big picture of what are our strengths, identifying inequities, what are areas of improvement, you know, that large picture that as a county we do. And that's something I do currently. I'm in my own consulting practice with nonprofits. I really believe in the idea that we can all do more collaboratively, and that might sound very cliche, but I've worked on a lot of projects that really kind of changed the way we work, like our systems and how we interact with one another differently. And I excited to really look at that as well. But the other reason I was saying is personal, and that is that I have I didn't expect this, sorry. Very close individuals in my life who struggle with mental illness every day. And it's a challenge. And the services are so needed. And I have seen when you find the right treatment, compassionate care, the support systems really help turn lives around. It's priceless. Like, there's no measure of what that's worth in our community. And so, and I've been involved with the systems because of that. And we know that when someone has a mental illness or substance abuse, that it not only affects the individual, but it affects the family, it affects friends, and it affects our entire community. And so thinking about working on a different level to kind of help our community be there for others who are struggling. Thank you. I really wasn't expecting this, but you know, that's exciting in many ways for me, just to see how my voice or experience can help move things forward with the Adams Board and all that it does and all that it is looking to achieve. So, thank you.
Thank you. I know the struggle. Before my sister passed away in 2016, she was struggling with her own issues, and both of her children are, and I have an adult niece who I care for at home with me. It challenges me every day, and I've learned so much, and I'm still learning so much about the system myself and how I can care for her effectively. And I know it can be really dark, and it can be some amazing days as well. So thank you for your willingness to be transparent and share your story. I think this is what drives us to service, right? Because we need help ourselves sometimes. I know I do. Any questions? Councilman Miller.
So, Madam Chair, Ms. Johannick, thanks very much for your willingness to put your personal and professional experience to work on behalf of Cuyahoga County. And my question is based on that experience. Have you identified any ways that you think mental health and addiction services in Cuyahoga County can be improved or expanded to reach more people?
Yeah, do we have an hour or two? No, it's a great question, Councilman Miller. And yeah, in general, I think that there is a lot more prevention and early intervention that we can do to help individuals not be able to go so far down a path where getting help is that much harder. And, you know, I think taking a look at one of the things that I've done in the last 6 years is work with this global community, with the LEAP Ambassadors community, and learning what are others doing that are more successful than we are in different areas. And can we adopt that? And so I think it's really important to look at what others are doing instead of reinventing the wheel. Sometimes we need to invent the wheel, but I think that early intervention and prevention is so important, and I think that's an area that we could probably do more of.
So, Madam Chair, Ms. Johannick, follow-up question. To what extent do you think mental illness is preventable, and to what extent do you think it's that when certain dark social, biological, or whatever forces congregate that someone's going to be affected and it's not too preventable?
Well, you know, there's a physiological aspect to mental health issues, so depending on and there's such a range, so there's, you know, say depression, and that's not a deep depression, versus schizophrenia. And so I think the issue is more not about how preventable it is when it's physiological, but how do we identify and intervene early on. Now, there are some stressors that then cause some things like depression and anxiety. And that, I think, is an area that, what can we do to help someone who's so overwhelmed and stressed out not to take that turn into depression, or that their anxiety can maybe come down a level or two. So I do think there are, in those areas, in those situations, there are definitely things that we can do.
So, Madam Chair, Ms. Johannick, thanks very much for that response, and I think it is a mixed situation, that there's things that can be done to help people expand their resilience level and just improve their overall well-being and improve their capability to deal effectively with a wide variety of different things that might come their way. So I appreciate your thoughts. Thank you.
Yes, I just would like to share, not really well, maybe a question in there. I know Linda as Executive Director for the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center when this new form of government first started, and she left us and she moved on to Better Passions. But she was I just want to say she was very instrumental under her leadership on implementing the state-of-art reporting room that we have now for the children when they are traumatized, that they could be in that room and get the questions from police, prosecutors, just one time, so they're not re-traumatized. So I did not forget that. She got the grant, and we're utilizing that room. So just wanted to give you kudos for that. And to just let you know that of course, you know, it's now called Journeys, Center for Safety and Healing, and they have an opening. Just saying, they have an opening again. So they're looking now for another director. So give it some thought.
Thank you, Councilwoman Conwell.
Further questions?
One more comment.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to add, Ms. Johannick, that I hear a lot about treatment and a lot about prevention, but not very much about early intervention. And so I think you made a really good point that's a very important focus area where we could make a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Miller.
Nothing further. Well, potential appointment to a board and a potential job offer, so who knew?
Ask more than that.
Worth getting out of bed for. Well, if everyone's comfortable with moving Resolution 2024-0231 to the full council under second reading suspension, I'll accept the motion in a second.
I'll make the motion.
Second, and please add my name.
A motion and a second, please add Yvonne Conwell. All in favor?
Mr. Chair, please add my name as well.
Mr. Miller also. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Against? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Good luck, thank you.
Miscellaneous business?
Very briefly,
Yes,
how's
sir.
that one? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the director, I just opened my mail up, and I got an anonymous letter in regards to the HR. The director, Director, Sarah, can you come up for a second? Hello, Madam Director. Sorry for catching you off guard. I just got back from vacation, opened my mail up, and I got this anonymous letter. I'm not big on anonymous letters at all, but they bring up some points that I don't have the answers to. And since it's anonymous, are you aware of this letter from before?
Yes.
Oh, you've seen it?
Good morning. Sarah Navastol, Director of Human Resources. I, too, was very fortunate to take 2 weeks off and was out on vacation with my family earlier this month, so I'm still catching up on things too, but that came in while I was out. I know that Pat Smock, who's the Director of HR Employee Services, and our benefits team sent a response to Chief of Staff Joe Nani, and I also weighed in on some of the questions about compensation, but we did send a response in to council staff.
And thank you, and I look forward to reading it, and if it makes any sense after you talk to the chairwoman, maybe talk about it in public or not, but
Sure.
I just want to be able to be responsive to the folks that, but in the future, if you send anonymous stuff, please just put your name on it so we can deal with it directly, whoever sent this to me. So, thank you.
Okay, anything further? Yes,
Yes, Mr. Chair, not to the director, but just to Zoe, if you could let me have who all the makeup is for the Adams Board. I know there needs to be diversity, and I think that's, moving away. Now, of course, we have enough women and men on there, but I would like to know what that makeup is going forward, and who now the president of that board is. You don't have to talk about it now, but you could just send that.
Madam Councilwoman, Chris Alvarado, Director of Regional Collaboration. I think you'll be pleased to see the next two reappointments that are coming up with the upcoming Adams Board schedule. We will, of course, make sure that we give you and the rest of the committee a full idea of who it is that we're bringing up. As far as the chair is concerned, I don't believe that we, as with the executive's office, have control over who chairs that. That was Dr. Fowler. Yes. Yeah. We're happy to talk some more about that. And in fact, we had a lovely meeting yesterday with Councilwoman Turner about a lot of these issues. Thank you.
further? We good? Thank you.